Hello, welcome to Writings from the Hills. My name is Lori, and this week I am spotlighting a book called Violent Delights. This is by a local author, Hannah Boggs. She is from our area, and this book is about a 17-year-old Odette Sinclair and her family that are forced to move across the country for specialized medical care. And this is kind of a supernatural type of information. Odette actually ends up meeting an infamous magical set of twins, mage twins named Greer and Grayson, and she finds herself caught up in a world that she never would have thought of or ever thought she could be a part of. And I am actually going to start off, the book starts off with a quote. "These violent delights have violent ends," and that's by William Shakespeare. Chapter 1. Tall pine trees swept past Odette's line of vision in massive green blurs. In between them were bits of graying sky. A storm was approaching, and she could feel the electricity. It seemed that the car ride would never end, and that she would die on the long stretch of road, which honestly could happen. Odette didn't mention this because her mother, Pamela Sinclair, didn't like the self-depreciating jokes, especially nowadays. Odette tore her eyes away from the trees and closed her eyes. She was in a desperate need of rest, despite the fact that all she had ever did was rest. Her back ached from not having moved around since the last rest stop, about 3.5 hours ago, in a small town near the border of New Hampshire and Maine. Her mother caught sight of this, and instantly her eyebrows knit together in concern. "Honey, are you okay? Do we need to stop?" The girl opened her eyes and looked into her mother's through the mirror. "I'm fine. Just trying to find a way to pass the time." The woman nodded and muttered a near inaudible "okay" and returned to her driving. Still, she snuck a few more glances through the mirror at her daughter. "We're almost there. Maybe 40 minutes or so." The girl rolled her lips and said nothing. She jammed a finger under the band of her special bracelet, hoping to cool the sweaty skin underneath. The tree suddenly broke open, and the city entered her eyesight. There were tall towers of glittering glass, apartment stores, random art pieces, homes, and most importantly, the hospital. The reason they were moving in the first place. Giant billboards advertised fishing and soda, and a few advertised the children's hospital. She shuddered to think of all the extra tests that she would need to have to in the future. All the extra needles. The drive continued through the city, and the Sinclairs passed many more opulent buildings. One was a private school, but it was the Saturday in the beginning of June, so they were already let out. A museum and a mall. But her mother didn't stop. She only made a comment here and there about the building's exterior design, or about pulling over to allow Odette to climb up front with her, which Odette politely refused. In fact, they drove straight through the bustling city and out until they were back into the woods. Odette sighed, sinking back into her chair. Now all there was to look at were the few run-down houses. Depressing. She almost wished she had driven up with her father, but it would have been just as depressing, if not more. But, she thought, at least he laughs at my jokes. Sometimes. The trees didn't break again and reveal a small town of log cabins and more shabby houses. There was a giant water tower with the name Sunwick Grove painted in large black letters. Only 2 miles later did the welcome sign greet her eyes. "Welcome to Sunwick Grove, Maine, where anything is possible." Well, that is literally just the beginning, just the first few pages of Violent Delights by Hannah Boggs. If you would like to request a copy, go to our website at www.briggslibrary.com or call any of our locations. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoy the book, and I will see you next time.